Hi, I'm Andy Webb from BeCleverWithYourCash.com, and today I'm going to tell you how it took me just 20 minutes to shave nearly £800 off my energy and broadband bills. So this week I put aside a little bit of time to do a bit of admin. I knew that I had to sort out my energy bill because my fix was going to end, and also there was an upcoming price increase on my broadband bill. So let's talk about the broadband one first of all. And this is with Virgin Media. Now, a couple of weeks ago, they announced they were going to put prices up later in the autumn. Now, this is normally a bad thing, isn't it? You think, oh no, prices are going up, I'm going to have to pay even more to an already expensive bill. But actually, when they do this, they're kind of breaking the terms of your contract. So it means, this happens for most broadband providers when they do this, you've actually got a chance to leave your contract early without those nasty penalty fees. Because if you leave a contract 6 months in or whatever, you've got to pay the rest of that 6 months. So it's not a cheap thing to do. You only really want to do that if the service is so appalling. But even then, if you've got really bad service, you've got rights to break that contract now as well. Anyway, my service hasn't been good, kind of working most of the time. So having a price increase, wasn't massively keen on this. So what I did, I got in touch with Virgin. And when this price increase was happening, they said you'll get a notification, official notification. And normally that's a letter. This time it was an email that came into my inbox a couple of weeks ago. When you get this letter or this email, it means you've got 30 days. It essentially gives you notice. You've got 30 days to leave that broadband provider, leave your contract without any penalties if you want to. And I think even if you're happy with your service when this kind of thing happens, you should get in touch, because these guys, they are desperate to keep you. Even when you're out of contract, it's worth haggling, but this is a good opportunity to see what happens. So I did it. I got in touch with them. I phoned them up. I was a couple of minutes on hold, and then eventually got through to the right person. It's a bit annoying. You know, you press option 1, option 2, you go round in circles, but eventually I did get to someone in a call centre. Now, first of all, I told them straight off, I've got this letter. That means prices are going up by £3.50 a month. And I didn't really want that to happen. I haven't been happy with the service, so I asked if they could just disconnect me. Now, that might seem going a bit far if you don't want to go, but actually you don't have to leave. You've got time to change your mind, because that's a 30-day process you're putting into action. Straight away, the woman said to me, well, you don't have to take the price increase then. We'll knock that off. So I'd carry on paying my normal monthly rate. Now, I should say that I'd already haggled back in February when my contract came up to get a better deal as well. I mean, my service really has been up and down, so I think that gave me a lot of ammunition to get a lower price. But also, if you don't ask, you don't get. So I was already paying essentially 50% of what I should be paying at the full price. You often get good deals when you first sign up and first join, but then after that initial 12 months, 18 months, they shoot up unless you get in touch. So I'd already knocked off a lot of money off my bill, and I could have knocked off this extra £3.50 a month, which, okay, brilliant. You know, you think most people would be happy to take that. But then I asked them something else, because one of the things that I've had issue with was potentially, I don't know if this is going to make a difference or not, is the speed. Now, we get 100 megabits a second, right? That's a lot. But I'm working here every day in my home, in my office. I'm doing a lot of the videos, I'm doing the podcasts, I'm using my blog, a lot of stuff going on online, uploading, downloading, things like that. So I thought, well, what happens if I go up to 200 megabits? So I asked, can they do anything in speed instead? And what she agreed, they would give me that for just £3.50 extra a month. So okay, technically I am going to be paying that price increase, I'm going to be paying more. But actually my saving is 50% on what should be around £54 every month. I'm going to be paying £27 every month. So that's a big saving just on the broadband. And not only that, I'm not even tied in for another 12 months of the contract. When my contract comes up in February, I can do this all over again. Now, I might not necessarily always be able to get a saving. I might carry on paying it around the same amount of money, or maybe a little bit more. But this is the main thing. I will hopefully always be saving a lot less than that top price. And you should be doing the same. Doesn't matter if you're Virgin Media or not. If you're BT, with Sky, with TalkTalk, whoever you are, if you are out of contract, do this exact same thing. Get on the phone and say you want to leave, and see what deals they're going to give you. And you don't have to take it, accept it there and then when they offer. You can even, this is what I did back in February. I actually said, no, I'm going to leave, because there were great deals available from other broadband providers. So I said, they gave me the confirmation they would disconnect me. The next day, I got a phone call from someone at Virgin saying, well, what about if we did this? What about if we did that? And they gave me that really good price that I'm using as a basis here. So that took me in total, that call, 13 minutes, nothing at all. Now, the more things you have going on, it could take you a little bit longer, okay? If you've got your TV with it and you're using that to haggle, you might have a lot of power to get big discounts there, because the more things you get from the provider, whether it's Sky, Virgin, whoever, the bigger your bill, therefore there's more for you to kind of pressure them to sort of discount because they really want to keep you. You can potentially save a lot of cash. So that was my Virgin Media saving, 13 minutes. Then after that, I moved on to my energy, my gas and my electricity saving. Now, I've got a fix. Now, if you don't know what a fix is, essentially it means for 12 months, the price per unit of energy is guaranteed to stay the same. So if prices go up, it won't go up. If prices go down, it also won't go down. But generally, these fixed tariffs, they are lower than the variable one, which can change at any time. Now, if you don't know which one you're on, have a look at your bill, and if it says fix, you're on a fix. But generally, you have to choose this. If you haven't, you're on the more expensive variable tariff. Now, this is generally for 12 months, and that's what I've got. My one was due to end in 50 days. Now, why 50 days? Why is that important? Because I put that note in my diary, because 50 days is the earliest you can leave a fix without having to pay those dreaded penalties once more. So I had the note to then start looking for a new fix. Now, it might be that that's a bit too early. You might want to leave it 45, 40, 35 days before your fix is due to end, before you make that change, because if it is more expensive, you obviously, it can probably take a couple of weeks, can take a bit longer for a switch to go through, but you'll be losing some of those cheaper deals. But at the same time, when the energy market's always changing, you might find that those deals are disappearing. So I generally have a look around that sort of 50 days to 30 days before my tariff finishes. I get back on a comparison site and see what's going on. And this doesn't take any time at all. It's really, really quick, I promise you. I go to one I use, it's from Martin Lewis's Money Saving Expert, and he has a feature called the Cheap Energy Club. This is the only one that I would use, I promise you, because it's a little bit complicated, and I've written about this before, and I'll probably do another video that goes into more detail on it. But it's one of the only ones that lets you compare the price you are paying right now, as in the daily rate you're getting right now, versus what you could be paying if you switch. All the others doing what's called it's a forecast that if your fix finished and you moved on to a variable rate, well, obviously your bills are going to go up. So it can be quite misleading. It might sort of suggest that you're going to save money when you aren't. But so this Cheap Energy Club from Money Saving Expert, that gives you the option to do a real comparison, which is why I use it. And it has other features that I like as well. And you can kind of trust the impartiality, and you've got lots of user-generated reviews there as well. So anyway, I popped onto Cheap Energy Club. Because I've been using it for a few years now, it saved a lot of my information. And that means a comparison can be done like that in no time at all. Just click it and it gives you a new comparison. Now, because I moved house about a year and a half ago, and the last time I did the switch, I hadn't had a full year's worth of data. This time I took a couple of minutes just to kind of put in exactly how much gas and electricity I'd used in the last 12 months. Because the more information you give, the more accurate that prediction you'll get on the next 12 months, and therefore the more accurate you'll get an idea of what savings you can make. And the reason that's important, of course, is it's a prediction, it's an estimate, because the price is only per unit. So if you use a lot of gas and use a lot of electricity, well, your bill will go up. If you use less than you did the previous year, it will go down. Anyway, so far I'm about 3 minutes into logging in, put the new details in, hit compare, see what comes up. Now, I was also looking here for not only saving money, making sure that I don't pay the huge amount of money I would have got if I hadn't done anything and gone on to EDF's variable tariff, which was like an extra, I think it's about 400 quid more for the next 12 months. I was also looking for someone with green energy. Now, the first few details that came up, the first few options from smaller firms which had bad customer service ratings, so I decided to give them a miss. But about 6 ones down, real surprise for me, it was British Gas. I never thought British Gas would be a company I would ever switch to, because they are notoriously one of the most expensive. But there they go, they were the biggest one of the more established providers. And it's not to say you shouldn't go with the smaller providers. Some of them are very good, some of them have a good track record. But from the ones I was looking at, that was the first one, about 6 down. And not only that, it was 100% renewable energy. It was a green tariff. So I took the decision to switch to British Gas. Now, let's see what happens customer service wise. I might never need to get in touch with them. These big behemoths of companies can often be a bit difficult just because of all the bureaucracy around them. But I'm going to switch to them. I did that process. Didn't take long at all. All you do is you click to switch through, and then you get you put in your details, your bank details for a direct debit, and then you click the button, and then the switch starts happening in the background. And actually, it's going to take just 2 weeks for that energy to be provided by British Gas rather than EDF. But that total, that was 7 minutes. So I spent just 20 minutes to do all of those, make the phone call, do that comparison, make the switch, and the savings was nearly £800. So how does that add up? So the Virgin Media, the full price for this 200 megabits per second bill will be £54. I'm going to be paying £27.50, so it's £318 less than the full price for that service. Now, okay, I have, admittedly, as you know, I've got that cheaper deal already to bring the price down, so I'm going to be paying more, but if it's the real terms against what I could be paying, it's £318 less. With the energy, the estimated bill, the estimated usage over the next 12 months is going to be £13 more than what I'm currently paying. But remember, I talked about if I did nothing, I'd move on to a variable tariff, and actually that means a saving would be £431. Plus I get £25 cash back from the Cheap Energy Club as well, giving me a total saving there of £456. So that's a combined saving of £774. That's how much less I'm paying for my broadband and my energy than if I did nothing at all for exactly the same services. You can do this exact same thing yourself. It might take you a little bit longer, like if you're stuck on hold with your utilities or broadband provider for a bit more, or want to look at those different options on a comparison site. But you really can make these savings. So get on there, do it. Particularly if you're with Virgin Media, have a look if you've had a letter or that email, and see if you can use this as an opportunity to either bring your bill down or leave and move to somebody else. I'm Andy Webb. Thank you so much for watching. Please do subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. You'll get all the videos like this and every week my deals of the week as well. Until next time, cheers.